All right, now I'm going to show you scroll groups, which I'm going to again show you repeat grid. And you'll remember from the day when I just went over Adobe XD quickly and all its features, we had this repeat grid where we could use it. Say we took an image, we wanted it in our background, right? We had a repeating seamless image. We could use that to just kind of repeat it again and again. But what happens when you design is you wind up building something like these are cards, right? Card designs. And you want to use these over and over again. Maybe you change things too. So repeat grid is really nice for this, so I don't have to keep building these out and things. So if I just click on this, whoops, I need to be in design, and I go to this little button here on top right and it says repeat grid. So now you see, right, we saw in before, right, that we could do this, right? So I've got this grid here. I can change the size, right? So how much space is in between them, right? Maybe I want it like that. Now, one thing I would always caution you is when you're designing anything that scrolls to the right, you don't want to have this illusion of completeness and not let a person know that they can't scroll, right? So the best bet is to always have it like kind of going off the edge here, right? So that's our first step, right? We've got this here now. If I wanted to, right, I could go in and double click on anything and change stuff as I need it, right? So I'll just do that for now in the repeat grids. We're still just on the repeat grid level. But now I want to be able to, we see, well, let's look at this, right? So we see this, right, and there's nothing I can do with this. It's just kind of stuck there. It is what it is. That other things outside of our purview we're not able to get. So what I need to do with this is make it, make me be able to scroll, right? And this actually doesn't live, we can actually do this in the design tab, not in the prototype tab. This lives right over here, right? And so what I did is I just clicked this little button. This is the left and right one, and in the next one I'll show you the up and down one. That creates our vertical scroll. Now we can change how big our area is of our vertical scroll, right? What's seen, what's not seen. So I'll go ahead and make it the full width, but I could start right here. Matter of fact, I'll leave it start right here just so I can show you that, right? And now when I hit play, right, you see I can just grab it and scroll it. You know, I can do this with my finger on the mobile device or whatever here, right? There is some more drag interactivity too that we can do later. I'll show you that's more complex, but this is the easiest way to kind of just do a kind of a thing you swipe through. Now this is just swiping through. With the drag one, you can make it like stop at particular spots. That's really the only difference on the last thing I'll show you here. So again, we can do the same thing over here, right? I make sure I have this is just a nice group thing. So I repeat my grid. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a bunch of these things. This time I'll really bring this down. Doesn't really matter because this is all fake, right? And instead of pressing this one right here, in the scroll groups, I will go to the vertical scroll. Now notice there's actually one that will do both. That's only really useful if you want to like pretend like, you know how Google Maps moves around where you can go vertically and horizontally. So I wouldn't use that in most cases, probably, you know, unless you're going to do something like that. So I'm going to click that, right? And the same thing happens here, right? Where does the start and end go? And when I go to play, right, I can go ahead and scroll this, right? And so that's different than a whole page scroll, right? The whole page, if we had, you know, this was longer than the viewport, would scroll like we saw over in this one, but this is making just one single feature. That's what you need to know about this, right? And so again, it all actually doesn't live in the prototype tab. This lives in the design tab.